right, so yeah, I have just a few. Unfortunately, I've obviously gotten rid of a lot of the ones that we had, but this is just to give you an example. So basically, you can either have, there's lots of pictures on the internet that actually have a little picture on it that you can use. This is painting and so on and so forth. This one's obviously jumping on a trampoline. This one's building Lego. What I did in the beginning, before I even went to those, I would literally take a photograph. This is a photograph of the bookcase for reading. This is a photograph of the computer time, and then literally go outside and take a photograph of all the play areas, the Lego, all the actual things in the house. Print those photographs and then laminate them, and at the back you stick Velcro so that it just sticks like that. Okay, and then what you do is you basically plan the child's day. It is extremely important that you try not to overwhelm them by giving them too many things to do before they get a break. So what I would do in the past is I would put, like, for instance, we are going to, first when we get to class, we are going to start the day with some ball skills. We're going to play ball. And when we're finished with that, we are going to read a book. After we've read a book, also alternate your actions, sitting still actions, and alternate it with things that give the child some proprioception input, some gross motor skills. After we've read books, we're going to jump some trampoline. After the trampoline, we're going to play some Lego. So it's gross motor skills, fine motor skills, gross motor skills, fine motor skills. And so you carry on. Use things that the child loves, like computer time, iPad time, as a reward. So you can say, first this, then that. So you can also make a little sign that says, first these things, and then we're going to do that. Then you can also include lunch, break times, and all sorts of stuff like that. It's important that the child understands what each picture means, and then what my son used to do is, when he's finished with something, part of his reward or part of what he loved doing is to take it off. And I don't know if it's the Velcro sound, and then we have a little container where we would put the things in. I think also it's a nice way for them to see the progression of their day, because the concept of time is sometimes very hard for these kids to understand and to grasp. And if you say to them 10 minutes, they don't understand the concept of 10 minutes. They don't understand the concept of morning and afternoon. So it's nice for them to see, this is the things. And you can even put here a photo of the au pair or babysitter or tutor going home. You can have one where the person arrives as well, so that the child expects that. They expect the person to arrive. They don't sometimes understand the concept of Monday to Friday. So it's nice to have a weekly schedule like this. Another thing that children struggle with is the concept of time. Now, the easiest and the quickest way to solve that is to have a timer. I have a little egg timer that I would set that would go tick, 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 tick all the time. So if your child doesn't mind that, that's nice, because they can actually hear the timer going, and then when it goes off, it goes, and then they know the time is up for whatever activity they were busy with. If your child doesn't like that tick, tick, ticking, you get ones that operate with a battery. And then, of course, there's the one on the phone. The problem with the phone is to have a phone visible for a child, or to give a child a phone, they are easily distracted with that. So these egg timers that you buy, I actually have one that we haven't used for a while. It should be here somewhere, because we just use the cell phone now. Anyway, so a timer is really, really important. So you can start with putting, we're gonna play, or we'll do it. And it's important that the tutor prepares this. So she has to have her planning for the next day and make sure that she's got the right pictures and stuff, and explain it to them. I find that the timer is crucial when, not necessarily when you're busy working, but when it's break time, because they don't want to stop playing, they don't want to stop their break. Also, 10-minute work time, 10-minute break, 10-minute work time, 10-minute break is very, very important. So for instance, in this scenario, we will consider playing a ball. We'll consider that break time almost. So we start the day by being physical. Why are we doing that? Because when the child is physical, they are getting proprioception input, and they are basically enabling their nervous system to just to rearrange itself so that it can be nice and calm. When you tell a child to sit still and to focus, that obviously takes a lot of energy. And if their nervous system is aroused, and if they are already aroused before they go sit down, that can sometimes lead to behavior that might be interpreted as naughty or defiant, but it's actually the child seeking out. The fact that the child can't sit still, the fact that the child wants to constantly move and jump and push, it's because they didn't get that proprioception input. So the rough and tumble, playing, getting all of that that input, playing with weights, anything cardiovascular and anything weight related. Cardiovascular tells the body that I'm running away, so the body actually reduces any of those fight and flight hormones, and the same with the weight. And if you don't have weight, you just take an empty cold drink bottle, fill it with water, and play a game with it, whether it is running a race with it or carrying to whatever the case is. But they need that physical input, really, really important. Again, it has to be structured. If it's not structured, the child will just go off on a tangent and do their own thing. Then when you come down to quiet time or whatever the case is, then you can just put a structured play in between work sessions. It's really important that you use play and not formal tuition or formal instruction to teach these concepts and to teach this child when are they feeling overwhelmed and when do they need to take a small break. In the beginning, like I said, 10 minutes, it sometimes might be a push even to wait, to expect a child to comply for 10 minutes. But you have to observe the child. See when the child starts getting restless. Then offer a quick break, even if it's just a run around the house. Okay, so that is a visual schedule. Unfortunately, I don't have any smart fancy ones anymore because I've given them away over the years and stuff. But that is basically the concept of a visual schedule, really, really important.